Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. What y'all missed before I came on, I can't click it up here, so I can't show you, but I can bring this up on my phone and say, Carmen was first. And Carmen says, Guess who? Well, I'm happy to see everybody here. Yes, you're Mr. First, Carmen. Vic and Vixen says, Carmen, yay, you did it. Yay, Carmen. Chrissy says, hello, lovely peeps from Vig and Vixen. Love from Wales, UK. And Charmony, holy moly, happy Sunday, peeps. Happy 552. Woohoo. Cinco de Mayo today. This is a big energy day. We already knew this was. It's just going to be getting more and more obvious. And so now I'm caught up on what I can't see here, but I can see the rest now. We have a lot happening right now, guys. I'm going to put something in the comment section right now. This is a link to Stefan Burns, I believe is his name. I'm very hopeful that's correct. Yes, Stefan Burns. He is a really awesome YouTuber that I've just recently started to follow. Trina actually suggested him. Anyway, he brought up a lot of the things I'm going to talk about today, so I kind of want to pass on credit. I mean, I don't typically follow content. Usually, what I'm telling you all is like channeled, like I'm just told. The energies, the spirit, just a lot of my guides, my higher self. They tell me, and I only know what I'm supposed to know, or what I need to know, I guess. I'm very good with just being in the moment and enjoying the life experience. So that might be part of it, as I don't really look really hard to find out what's happening a lot. Anyway, let's talk about some of the things that he brought up before I can move on to the comments. A lot of energy is coming through for everybody right now. And this explains it, okay? So there's a lot of stuff going on with our sun, right? And it was really funny because I had been saying for a couple of days that today was going to be a lot, last night and today, and also tomorrow, and also the 8th. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening, and all of the goes and all of the ways that you can look at the sun and follow what they're reporting about the sun. It was looking kind of quiet, and then all of a sudden, bam! We're right now enjoying a 1.32 X class solar flare. Its impact should be already being felt by all of us. Most of us, it depends on the situation, the energy, the person, and a variety of different things. However, a lot of people will notice that they'll feel a solar flare before we're supposed to have had impact on the planet. Like you feel it, and then it's like energy bubbles, kind of like these bubbles. There's like layers of it, so you feel it, then you feel it, then and what everybody's looking forward to is this part in the middle, but we're feeling all of these energies as they're moving through to us, and so we're getting that. However, the one that's building right now, if you do follow any of this science stuff with the solar flares, the website that I follow is called, I always have to look it up because spaceweatherlive.com, one word, spaceweatherlive, one word.com. And this will bring up this thing I show you guys all the time. Like, this is what I look at. It's not, hold on. It's not always like up to date. Like, sometimes it takes a day before they show the visual stuff and before they even report on it. So you scroll through, you can kind of see it. As you scroll through, you can see typically, this is what's really fun. Typically, these are all different solar flare marks reports. Usually there's like three or four, you know, and lately we've been getting a small page, but this is within just the past 24 hours. If you see the colors of them too, they're pretty big. M3.2, M9.1, M8.3, C8.7, C8.3. It goes on and on. I'm surprised that I'm getting a reminder to start it. Facebook just told me to start. I have to start my live soon. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys. This is a useful tool to find reporting. we are looking forward to, though, there's a conglomerate of solar flares that just came out of nowhere. And that's where I posted that link in the comments just a little bit ago, to Stephen Burns. He had talked about sunspot 3663. And it's a mixing of these magnetic fields. There usually when you look at it, you see like this is one color here and one color here, and it's just kind of it's separated and kind of not mixing up. And and now that it is, it's creating this mixing of the magnetic sphere, creating this big bulk. What could possibly be a very, very large solar flare? And it's so far, it is Earth facing. It is to where we will get some type of energy from it. Because again, depending on where the sun is and where we are, it could shoot off in the opposite direction from the Earth. And we still do feel the impact from it because it's kind of like when there's an explosion, the percussion wave still goes in every direction. So that does affect us in a lot of ways. But I highly encourage anybody who's interested to go and here, I'm going to post it, type it in one more time or paste it one more time. Go to this when you have a chance. This thing I just pasted up here. This is Stephen Burns and his recent report on this solar activity. Is really amazing. It's happening. Also, tonight is when we're going to be noticing, probably already, we're going to start getting that impact from that geomagnetic storm that's coming in from that earlier solar flare. And then also tonight and into tomorrow, you're going to be able to see the peak of, I always struggle to pronounce this correctly, Aquariid, the meteor shower from Halley's Comet, the tail of Halley's Comet. As it moves through, we get around 60 shooting stars per minute or per hour, pardon me. And so it's really pretty and a lot of fun. So if you have a clear enough sky, I know we don't. Like that's something else that was really cool to listen to. See, Stephen Burns, he's much more into the science of it. I'm more energy, like, and spirit. Like, I don't often know why. I'm just being told by spirit, this is what's happening. And I'll understand some of it, but most of it, I don't even try to. I'm just like, okay, I'm just passing it on. I'm being the messenger as the little hawk that I am. And so I don't always understand it. And he does. So there's a bunch of science stuff that's kind of fun to hear about. And the fact that when we get these these increases in energy from the sun, it impacts weather. So what he was saying is that if you already are getting weather, like it's going to rain a little bit, when these geomagnetic storms come through, then you also get like a big thunderstorm and the weather gets bigger. Have you all been noticing? This is something I've been paying attention to in groups and large groups and sessions and stuff. I'll ask about the weather, where they are. And it's fascinating. It does not really matter where on the planet we're talking to, of the person we're talking to. It's crazy. So anyway, a lot of energy's coming in to explain what we're going to talk about now. That was a lot to say to come to get to this point. Oh, and also happy Cinco de Mayo, 5/5 Portal Day. This is already some pretty awesome, big, amazing, and beautiful energy. There's a lot of other things coming through in the coming weeks and days as well. So anyway, feeling fuzzy, says Sharmony. Sharmony, I'm definitely feeling that too. Did you change your name again? I'm confused now. Wait a minute. I thought I read a different name a minute ago, but I was reading it from my phone. It's a different frequency when you read from different devices. Have you noticed that? Like it feels different. Anyway, yeah, feeling fuzzy, floaty fuzzy is kind of how I would describe it too. Is this floaty fuzzy? Like I don't really feel in body a lot right now. It's very weird. And oh, I should probably click these, huh? I forgot I can do that. See, I'm really out of it. I forgot it was Sunday until just like a little bit ago, which is why it took me so long to put up the post that I was going to be doing this. If you don't see me post that I'm going live, chances are I'm still am. I actually also, when I realized it was Sunday, I thought that I was supposed to go live at noon, which is true for the time zone that I was in before 6 months ago. And I reverted back to that time zone. I'm like, oh no, I'm an hour late almost. Or at the time, I think I was. Anyway, so yeah, some real disorientation, discombobulation. Beloved family, hello, hello, Janet. Good to see you, sweetie. Feeling so fatigued, yes. Oh my goodness, the sleep, the deep, deep, deep sleep. What we're doing more now, and this is really fun. I find this fun, is that we're waking up before our body wakes up, because we're in such a deep sleep. And we're not talking about sleep paralysis. This is an entirely different thing. This is becoming conscious and aware while your body's still in slumber. It's so fascinating. And in this place, if when we can understand that we can wake from that at any time, as soon as you make yourself move, then you wake up or you start to wake up. But you find that it's just like, wow, I'm just so tired. I kind of want to stay there. In this awesome state, the in between world, this is where you can have the most uh, easily accessible conversation with your higher self, with your guides, angels, galactics, everybody who's coming in your light team, who's coming in to help and assist you, are more easy. It's more easy to communicate with them as yourself in this way. So observe it. If you get a chance, it's happening so frequently. I can't imagine that I'm the only one, because it's like literally, at least every other day, if not more than that. And just fascinating. It's fascinating. I don't have to set an alarm. I set my world to my daughter will wake me up if if she wakes up before me, which doesn't typically happen. And because I don't have to set an alarm, I think that helps. So anyway, yeah, really fatigued, exhausted, Janet. Yes, very, very. Just I want to go to sleep right now. I really could. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be napping. I'm not gonna lie. Hello from Sweden, says Therese. Welcome. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Good to see you. Sun fun. Charmony's got sun going on. Awesome. Oh, hey, I should probably put this up there so you guys can see this, in case no one's you're coming in from Facebook. Facebook, I don't think that it posts my comments to Facebook. It only goes to YouTube. So this is Stefan Burns, most current video, the one I was talking about specifically. I haven't actually finished the video. I'm not that. I struggle watching content right now. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. And it's not because the content creator is shoddy work or anything. It's just simply, it's a big commitment to sit and to watch something when there's so much energy things happening around us. That's like, hi, Lois, welcome. Good to see you. Eric's here. Fatigue and rare migraines on right side. Right side. Fascinating. I've been doing left. For me, the headaches are mostly focused here. Like if you took your hand and just plonk, that's kind of what it feels like. Pardon me. And also down to the third eye. This area here, I've been having a lot of discomfort. And I thought that I was having, okay, so what they explained to me, I started to get these dull, kind of achy headaches behind my eyes. And it was just, it was weird. And I asked about it and they were like, well, yeah, that's your crown chakra activation. And I was like, well, what? Crown's way over here. It looks kind of like a funnel, how the energy works. You have a big chakra, and then it goes into a smaller and smaller, but it's still as diverse and big as the other chakral systems. And so it looks kind of like a funnel of balls, and the balls get smaller as you get in there. Anyway, these funnels merge like that. The center place would be here. And so all of this is happening right now, and it's working on this pineal gland area, foresight, third eye stuff, as well as these temple activations that are needed for hearing. We have to. It's useful. It's advantageous to us to be able to access this higher frequency hearing, which a lot of us are already doing with the ear ringing, just not really aware. of what's being said or communicated. We don't need to know. Knowledge is entertainment. Truly, mostly, pretty much across the board. That's what Spirit has been telling me lately, over and over again. Knowledge is like a reality show is kind of the example that they make, because of my earlier time in my life, I was very committed to Simpsons, and there's this particular scene where Lisa's in the future and she's gotta watch her stories, and like it's a thing, and they flashed that up for me and showed me that that's what knowledge is just entertainment. It doesn't have, it's not, it's useful to know. Like when we validate each other, like I am now taught, I assistance is given to me enough for me to be able to be confident, to trust in my instincts and my inner knowing. When I know I can pull away from the paradigm, the conditioning I was trained to not trust myself, to question sanity and things like that. So that's where knowledge really does play a useful thing. So right side is masculine, divine masculine, Eric, and left side is divine feminine. It does not matter what body you are in, if you are a man or a woman, you have both. And so it's really useful to know, what side it is. The divine masculine has started to, or almost completely, if not all the way, really, found its balance, found its frequency, and is starting to understand itself, meaning what it's not. I need to turn off the ringer on my phone. I didn't realize it was still on. Pardon me. And so if we understand what it's not, it's easier to understand what it really is. And so divine masculine, with having to always be in action and always be, like there's softness, there's solitude, there's inward action, which is perceived as inaction, or is the word laziness. Is usually a conditioned word to create conflict there. So it's useful to know this is an area of your body that's being affected right now. Thank you for bringing that up, Eric. The headaches, I always forget to mention them, and they've been really profound lately. Um, and not enough to uh, stop me to like decommission me, I guess, but it is definitely affecting me in a deep way. And hello, hi there. I'm glad to see you so well and energetic. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a crazy road, man, the past little while for all of us. I know I'm not alone in saying that. We had a lot of different things happening the past little while. I realized not too long ago that I've that we've been in flux for, it's been 6 months now, that we've been in flux and in motion. And there's a lot of like stasis kind of stuff that happens as a result of that, and so I'm happy to kind of be noticing we're coming through it. The 24th of May is also a day to look forward to, just so y'all know. That day is a Friday. This is a very big day, energy day. That's going to be really awesome to look forward to in a I guess what I'm trying to say is if you can consider taking time to yourself, only because it's easier, or easier to accept the energy in when you can be in a place of silence or inaction of some way, inward action, so just keep that in mind. There's a lot happening on that day. It was pointed out to me, and I pulled it up on my calendar in my phone, and I had a couple of notes on that day. There's an anniversary significant to my daughter and I. So we call that day Freedom Day. That's our family holiday day. And then it also is, my daughter's going to be 9 years and 9 months that day. Every time that there's 369 in her age, something big has happened. And I didn't actually put any of those things together until Spirit guided me to talk about, or to make sure I noted the 24th. And so here we are. There's already things pointing at it. I don't know a lot of the other things that are involved with it, but I do know that on the 24th, there's also a lunar occultation of Antares. Antares, this reminds me of The Last Starfighter, by the way. I don't know how many of you remember that movie. The Last Starfighter was a really activating movie for me as a kid. I remember watching it and being like, how are they talking about this stuff? And now looking back on it, I remember thinking, and now I'm thinking, wow, I mean, that was really poor. But they really did bring up some of the things that needed to be brought up at that time. Charmony, OMG, I just watched it, Mila, and was going to share it too. Sun meltdown. Yeah, that's the video I posted. I shared just on the comments here. He called it the sun is melting down or something like that. The sun meltdown. Oh, and yeah, what did he say? We're in a complete solar meltdown. Here's what happens next. That's what he calls it. It's a really good video if you get a chance to check it out. Spiritual warrior, solar flares, Batman, whoop, whoop. We know that these solar activities come in to help us. We know what they're doing for us, that they are assisting us. If we have a pre-existing condition or there's density that's struggling through certain areas of your body, we're going to notice it more. It's going to impact us more. How can we help ourselves? Well, part of that I've always found useful is to be near salt water. If you're not on the coast, you can still replicate this by putting salt in a bucket, salt in a cup, in a bathtub. Like, I know that when we're getting really big solar flares, before, when I was living in Washington, what we would do is I'd fill the bathtub, a third full, half full, something like that, and then put some salt in there and mix it up. And it was a small enough space that this would ionize the air for us. See what happens when the solar flares come in, there's an ionization that's occurring. And so we're being given all these positively charged ions, when often what we actually want is the negatively charged ones. And so that's why we get kind of all funky feeling and shaky and stuff. Salt helps this, though it's even more useful if we can put our feet in the soil. There's a natural thing that occurs here in the exchange with Gaia and ourself with the pores of our feet, even the pores of our hands. Just a lot of different things like this. This can help, but the above everything else, hey, it's 222. Rest and water as much as you can. You don't have to be sleeping, to be resting. I find that initially the struggle is with most of us getting past the feeling guilty for taking care of ourselves, feeling like we're being lazy because we're taking care of ourselves. If your body needs rest, then it needs rest. Like, that's not a character flaw. That's not something to shame yourself about. Hey, 111 people here. That's so cool. Thank you all for coming today on this amazing 5/5 portal day, the Cinco de Mayo day, the Halley's Comet's tail day. We're going to have all of this really cool stuff in the celestial night, as well as in the daytime with all these solar flares. Trina, I'm feeling it big time today. Yeah, dude, really big. My kid's actually feeling it too. My kiddo didn't get out of bed late today. Really struggling with just feeling kind of shaky from the core, but it's not like unpleasant feeling. I can tell that it gets more shaky when I get nervous or worried about something. Like I'm changing the energy. Hello, Kenny. Good to see you. 3X's since May, says Charmony, May 2nd, from same super sun group, plus a bunch of near flares, triple and double M flares. Yeah, so much coming in from the sun right now. There's also sun spirits, if y'all don't know this. It's really cool. These beings that are coming down from the sun. I didn't know they existed until 2020, and they started coming in then, and they're really fun and giddy and excited and just so happy to hang out, and you're just like these, and it's, you can't stay upset even if you're upset. When they come in, it's just at first, even if you're really angry, I imagine like that they just, maybe they're irritating for a second, but it just, all of a sudden, it just transmutes all energy, just having them there. And then you can't help yourself but also engage and be in this joyful, childlike state of awe, wonder, and excitement. It's really cool. And they're coming in. We're feeling them. And as we feel them, what we're feeling a lot of is the collective expression of this energy. And, so it kind of comes out sideways sometimes. It's really cool, though. Shauna, excuse me. I'm having a lot of throat activation today. I don't know if y'all have been noticing. Shauna, hello. Mila, love to you and Maddie from Kay and myself. So good to see you. Thank you so much. I'm going to tell Maddie that. She's going to be really happy. She really got along with you guys. It's really fun to watch my kiddo interact with adults. I really enjoy it because it's something turns on for her. And she really enjoys like the adults and the people that are younger than her because she likes to teach. It seems that kids that are around her age or in the teens don't tend to want to learn anymore from what she has to say. And it was just so cool. She really ate it up having people around and having those conversations. Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell her you said that. Sharmini says, plus many near X flares. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're not actually getting that we're getting. Vegan Vixen, my son is 31 today. Ooh, happy birthday. He's in Tenerife. I'm assuming this is a state or a country or something. I don't know. He's got the 5-5 energy and the sun. Wow, that's so cool. I wonder what Tenerife is. It must be tropical, having to do with the sun. I'm not that worldly. I know, one of those like typical Americans, I suppose. Ralph, hi Mila, hi all, love from Scotland. Good to see you. Sharmini, yes, out of nowhere. I know. We're getting some crazy stuff coming in. Spiritual Warrior, my two puppies were born on 555 portal of 2021. It's their birthday today. Happy birthday. Lots of birthdays. That's really cool. My heart is breaking tonight. Lost my little fur baby last night. I'm really sorry to hear that, Vicky. I have noticed that there's been a lot of departures again. Like it's been like there's been an uptick. When we had the choice point March 4th, I know that they had said that at that choice point, a lot of people who had made a different choice than I had made were, it could be up to 6 months or even longer before they left, and this is part of this mass exit. It's unfortunate that it affects you, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. Christina, hello. The picture image today is also fuzzy. The picture image. Oh, from in my background fuzzy. I know I've been noticing more and more every time I use this. I don't know. I might try to come up with or find a better streaming service. I use this thing called Restream so I can stream to both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Though I don't know if it's the service or not, but I seem to be delayed. If I am on with anyone else, then I'm watching myself and it's really hard to keep up and I can't like follow. This is actually doing pretty good today though, but I do find that it's kind of not very smooth. Coco, hello from New York. Hello, Coco. Welcome. Um, let's see, experiencing chills, sweats, and exhaustion. Yeah, so I'm getting these sweats too. It's really weird because it's cold today, and I woke up really. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, the temperature regulation stuff that we're doing is a much different one than everybody else. I don't know if anyone's noticed that their core temperature has slowly been dropping over time. Um, I started to really notice it before 2020, but then it was just made to be a spectacle when they started to want to do your temperature. They do the forehead swipe from afar. I would never let them do my third eye. I always asked them to do the side of my head. They didn't mind. Anyway, um, I found that people were like really concerned for me, and it worked out great because it was wintertime. So like, oh wow, you must be really cold. Do you want to sit down and rest and get warm really fast? It was kind of funny. However, this is typical for a lot of us. I asked about it, and Spirit answered back, light is cold. The more light we contain, the colder our body will be. And so these chills that you're talking about, a lot of us are experiencing it. Also, it's very fascinating to be. So I'm in the South now, basically. I mean, I think this is called South, right? Arkansas. and having been in the North for so long, and, you would think that I would be the one that is, hot. Or, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, hot. Anyway, it's fascinating how, until today anyway, it's been so freezing for me because everyone's got all this like AC blaring, and it's like not even hot yet. This isn't even June yet. How do they survive in the real summer, the locals? You know, how do they make it by? Do they not go outside ever? Like, so it's just fascinating. But I'm wondering if that has to do a lot with my core temperature having been so, much lower than everybody else. Because, yeah, it's something, I don't know, it's fascinating. Edward said, it took me over an hour to balance out, plus body aches. I think I missed an earlier comment from you, Edward. Um, but yeah, I'm noticing that too. That it's taking time to find balance more than normal, and it's kind of fun to be able to find your balance to equal yourself, and then also you got a new toy now, and you get to figure out a different way to balance, and so it's I feel kind of like it's a little bit at a time removing your training wheels to teach you how to drive this vehicle that we're in, this body. We can self-heal. We can do so many things. I've watched miracle after miracle over the past couple of years, and people usually give me credit for it. It's got nothing to do with me. Like, yeah, I'm called a healer, though the healing that happens has to do with you, with your choices and your decisions, and, self-talk. It's largely due to self-talk and accepting something that is not something that you want because you feel like that's the only option there is. Um, in particular, the spell casting of medical professionals. Now, I'm not going to say that I feel like that if I get in a car accident or something, some type of tragic, accident occurs, that I would definitely trust Western medicine to help me out. Um, when it comes to preventative care and health, I don't. I really don't. And so that's just me. And anyway, being able to find your belief in self and to not have to listen to what these other doctors are going to say. I've heard people being told that they had terminal illnesses like what happened to me. I know a lot of you know about this, but back in 2007, I was supposed to die. I had a terminal illness. It was called systemic scleroderma. I was at the end of the cycle of it. In fact, they said, you might not even have 6 months when they told me about it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to stop going to work now. I'm going to pay 6 months of my rent. And then I didn't die, but I stopped participating in the medical system. I didn't want to die that way. It's kind of how it worked out. I didn't want to participate in the medications and the surgeries and stuff. I just leave me alone. And I wrote a book and that I decided I ended up not publishing. But it's anyway, the point of this is that I chose not to participate, and then I got better. That's really how I got better, is I chose not to participate. And as what they were saying didn't happen, more and more I stopped believing them at all. It's like, we'll start questioning it. And anyway, that was the point I was trying to make is that we can heal from anything. I'm not telling anyone to not go to the doctor. I think that if you feel called to do it, then you should. And if you feel called to take certain medications or whatever, then that's correct for you. I'm talking about my experience. We're all different. Joyce says, hello from Ireland. Welcome. Good to see you. Vegan Vixen, Vicky says, thank you, Vegan Vixen Love. Huge, yes. It's very windy where I live, and it's like a different type of different type of wind. I call it space wind. I'm going to call it this from now on. I've also been feeling very snappy and angry, sort of overwhelmed. Thank you, Mila, for being here. Love you. Love you too, sweetie. Thank you for bringing this up. Yeah, and I would say I'm a little bit more on edge than normal. Like my emotional edge is a little bit more touchy. Energy is high, way up there. Yeah, it is really, It's crazy and I don't know if you guys watched that conversation between Elsa and I, where we talked about this one event that had occurred here. We had a big tornado that was just over our head, like literally here, just over our head. This whole phenomenon thing occurred. It was really cool. Um, the fact that we all knew we were safe, and it turns out it was right over our head, like, and it just never made contact. Like, that is just amazing. Weather is being invigorated by this stuff, and it moves things around quickly, so the energy gets to shift around the planet much more quickly than it ever did before. It's like the invention of um, high-speed internet versus dial-up, right? It's kind of cool. Full vibrating, yeah, lots of energy. And that's what we're talking about, this vibration. A lot of people are talking about it like shaking. Now, there is a difference. There's a difference between what shaking is and vibrating is. And it's hard to tell when you're in it. If it is vibrating, typically it's the energy. Typically it's the energy of the frequency we're in, and being brought. So like the energy coming from the sun and stuff like that. Though if it's shaking, often it's the result of the energy. And that is that the energy is, we're not used to having this high frequency energy in our bodies. It's kind of how it works out. So it's just kind of like it's hard to hold it at first until we get more used to it. It's kind of how I interpret it from my experience anyway. So yeah, Joyce, thank you. Sorry to hear about your fur baby, Vicky. That's really sad. Deb says no motivation or feeling of creativity. Eyes are tired. Eyes, there's some weird stuff going on with the eyes, man. Something going on with the eyes. And this is a report from everybody right now. And I had this weird dream about my daughter's eye, her left eye in particular. There's a lot. And it wasn't bad. It was just very, wow. Watching this complete, like, metamorphosis of the eye. What's occurring right now in our eye, it's our physical eye, is that we're gaining another rod or cone. Yeah, another cone. The way that we see is rods and cones. And there's more and more now are being reported in the medical way where people have this other cone, this fourth cone. Doctors are actually saying it now, and having this another cone. The cones help you see frequency of color. So this is ultraviolet spectrum. There's a reason that there's so much talk about blue and the spiritualness of blue, and why so many people, when they're colorblind or just mildly colorblind, typically it's blue that they can't see, but they can see all other color in the spectrum. This is the color of spirit. This is the conversations that Elsa and I were having for a long time back, about a year ago now. The blue is a really significant thing because so many people incarnated at that time. And we're talking about, early cartographer stuff. They would talk about the ocean being black, when they were making these maps and stuff. The color blue was never found. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, these Nordic people came from the north with blue eyes, and people could see the color. Some could see the color. Anyway, now we're getting another, and that was when people were starting to slowly be able to see blue, right? Now we're starting to see this other frequency. What does it look like being able to see it? You can see at night better, very clearly in most cases, but sometimes it's just better. That's about it. I mean, maybe it has something to do with why I can see the rainbow swirl stuff in the sky sometimes. Like, energy swirls and has rainbowy texture to it. It looks kind of marbly, like a pearl, kind of. But yeah, it's just. Oh, by the way, though, I understand the motivation. I didn't actually go on. Yeah, Deb, the motivation and feeling like you just need to be in your own space, in your energy. I used to call that puddling, because you just, and you're just a puddle. You just be. You're not actually doing anything. You're not looking busy. You're not sleeping. You're not. You just are. And it's okay to do that. In fact, I encourage people to do that. That's when the most downloads come in. That's when the most information can be easily accessed. Is this is when they're giving it to you too, you know? So it's really cool. Allowing yourself to do that and not feel any kind of guilt is the best way to do it if you can. Because then if we feel shame and guilt about it, then we just kind of like hijacked our upgrade a little bit. Not hijacked, but it's like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, or something like that. Coco, I've been having sharp tummy pains on and off for a few days now. You know, there is a lot of people been talking about this. Um, these the sacral and the root chakra mostly, though also the solar plexus. So the sacral chakra is just about 2 finger widths below your navel, below your belly button, and the solar plexus chakra is the same distance above your belly button. So about 2 finger widths above your belly button is the solar plexus, the yellow one. Um, though the root chakra and the sacral are the main ones that are being affected at this time. I have noted, it's kind of fascinating, the esophageal stuff connected. It's really weird. It's like it bypasses the heart energy. It takes solar plexus energy into the throat chakra, which I find really fascinating. When we can combine these two, this is when we can be, this is usually when we're in song, when we're singing, humming, toning, you know, just not even caring. You just letting your voice make some noise. Um, this is an activation that you can do that actually does help, is why I bring this up. And I've noticed that more and more as you harmonize, sing, you know, even if you don't think it sounds very good, it doesn't matter. Have fun. If it's really cool, it starts to actually resolve it. Um, when we hum in a certain way, we can actually hum to make certain areas of our body vibrate. One moment. Excuse me. And so like there's a way that you would, for instance, if you want to activate your heart center, you would laugh while holding your breath, and it expands this area quickly. You can do the same kind of thing with using the actual sound of the tone. As you bring it low and move it down, you can actually bring it down to where it actually vibrates this area of your body, you know, with intention. And this is really, out of all the things I ever got people to do, I don't usually do the kinds of meditations that require certain positions and seating. However, this one is most effective when you are perfectly aligned, meaning all of your chakras are in a perfect line. Your shoulders are back, you have good posture, and then to do this vibration down while first expanding your diaphragm, making sure your belly pops out while you do it. It does help. It helps a lot. It's really cool. And the more you can do this, the more you can practice how to get it to the right places and the areas of your body that it's most needed at that time. So um, I just jumped ahead because I realize I'm stalling it, not stalling, but I there's so much to talk about. I really need to make this show longer than just an hour. Eric, thank you, Mila. Love you too. Thank you. Um, I see Jessica came on at 222. Awesome. That's really cool. Good to see you, Jessica. Carla, hello. Always look forward to seeing you. We is all feeling it. Love you. Yeah, dude. It is some intense energies right now. And the fact that it's a 5/5 portal, you know what I mean? Like, this is a good energy day. There's so much about today that I just um each step toward each day past today is just more and more and more improvement and awesomeness. Definitely, you know, there's speed bumps, you know, that just pace you, show you to slow down and to look at this. You missed something. You would have missed it if you didn't have a speed bump to slow you down. And then you have time now to look around and see, you know, kind of stuff. But that's all. Charmony, everyone is unique. I love the way that she plays with words. I was fine Thursday, but hit hard Friday. Needed to rest and felt great yesterday, Saturday. What a ride. We are amazing. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Everybody's different. And it also depends on where you are on the planet. It also depends on your diet. It depends on your grandmother's diet because, the energies that happened, it went into you, the egg that you became was complete and ready when your mother was still in your grandmother's womb. And so your egg was created by being fed whatever your grandma was eating, the air she was breathing, the environment she was in. you know we're not just talking about asbestos and lead and stuff like that. I mean, there's some things that we don't even think about anymore as something that would be in our food, that early preservatives and things like this. So um let's see. I mean, oh, okay, thank you very much. The place, the Tenerife Rife, is a Spanish island where most Brits go for their vacations. Cool. Okay. Cool. Jessica brings it up too. Is in the Canary Islands off the northwest coast of Africa. Cool. That's awesome. That sounds really neat. That sounds really. That's one area I've always wanted. I've been drawn to Africa, been drawn to Tibet, Ireland, and Scotland. Like these are, and Sweden as well. Sweden is one place that I know I'm going to end up going. Um, my grandmother moved here from Sweden when she was 11, and they didn't let her go to school because she was left-handed. This was how long ago that happened. And so because she was left-handed, she wasn't conditioned by the local school system. And um, that kind of, that paved the way to make it possible for me to be me. It worked out really cool. It's fascinating how that works. And she's also why my Swedish grandmother, she's why I have such a pale complexion. It's really funny when you look at just before the generation before me. Joshua, hello. We can heal from anything. True that. That's right. And allowing yourself to do it. Allowing your belief is the gas that propels this mechanism. Okay. The more we believe that we can do it, the more that we believe that doing it, that what we're doing is going to work, the more that it really works. It sounds incorrect because we've been taught this. It's a really smart thing to do to disempower people, to teach them what they call the scientific method. If you can't prove it, and also it's not just that you can't prove it, they teach you to try to disprove it. Like you're manifesting, you're spell casting the words that it won't be true before you even got to have a chance to discover or whatever. Anyway, looking past this limitation, we're able to see more and more that all we have to do is suspend disbelief and believe. Spirit's been like saying this to me so much the past little while, and it's a message that I still am learning. Like I do believe, but I falter on occasion. There's the moments that come up, like about a month ago or something like that. I had like on and off. Like there was a moment here and a moment there, a couple of different times where I was like, dude, we got this right. Like, is this, like, and that happens to everyone. So this message was meant not just for me, though. It was meant to prepare everyone to understand how to make these things work. And it's simply believing it. Once you believe it, it is real, it is true, and it becomes. That's why I was talking about earlier regarding, and I'm not saying the doctors know that they're doing it. They're trying to figure out why you're there, how to solve your problem with what skills they've been given, and what skills they have has been taught to them by unknown sources. This is the truth, right? And so then they stay in that box, and then they guess. They are practicing. They guess what may be wrong with you. They may throw out a fatal illness word. They may, whatever. And then, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. But try these, take this medication, see what happens, and this is where I started to see that we can create our reality. When I stopped believing the doctors, and allowing myself to not blindly accept whatever it is that they're telling me, because that's an expectation, at least from where I was living in Utah, that the doctors were an authority. You just go there and you just do whatever they say, and you're supposed to feel better. And anyway, as soon as I stopped doing that, um, I stopped getting the energy, and my reality stopped shifting when a doctor would decide something. You know, it's really weird. Anyway, so there's just a lot happening right now. Joyce says yes, neck and shoulders. Oh wait, I forgot to comment on. Did I? Sorry. I'm just skipped by the comment. I don't think I actually read what the other comment was. Joyce says yes, neck and shoulders. Yeah, yeah. Else, joints across the board are where. So it's what it's like is energy. I don't know if you all know about this, whether you use sage or sound bowls or anything like that to like clear the energy in your house. Which if you don't, I suggest you do. You can also use things like an organite. This is like the pyramid example. You also can buy like little ones. They're called pucks. They're quite affordable when you don't care. If you want them to be looking, if you want them to look like this, they're more expensive. If you don't mind that they look like this, you can get a bag of them for a couple of bucks on Etsy. This one is another example that I spent way too much money on, and I don't suggest anyone do it. However, it's cool having it flat. This one's also flat. We can get them this way. You can put them in your back pocket, stick it in your bra. Yes, it's good to have stuff on your heart sometimes when you're noticing the heart palpitations. I've noticed this. So Organite has quartz crystal, some type of metal, copper, lead, that draws in the energy. And then the quartz crystal transmutes it, and the obsidian sends it out, sends it away. And so it's like an energy purifier. I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, but this so the neck and the shoulders, yes, thank you. I'm so glad I left that comment up. So when you're clearing the energy of your house, you'll notice that it hangs out more in the corners, like it kind of collects there, like dust would. This also happens in our bodies, and this is where our joints are at. So you have a whole bunch of joints just down your spinal column, right? Like every vertebrae is another joint. Every finger, you have multiple joints in places and wrists all over your body. These are areas like in a pipe, and like a pipe for like a sink. You'll notice the bend will have it'll like collect stuff. Well, what's happening, and often there's a result from spirit sending in the light to kind of push this through, is that we'll notice the shaking and the extra discomfort in the certain areas of our body. This is just to show you that it's there. The reason we have pain is not to cause you disharmony, it's to point at something. The reason you have an emotional body, the pain in this way, is to point at something. What's fascinating is discovering all emotional bodies aren't actually belong to us. They aren't actually connected to us. They're separate from us. And these emotional bodies are what we're peeling away one at a time from multiple lifetimes. This is why QHHT has such a stance and a place in this world that we're in, is that most people don't understand why their body's hurting in this place or that place. And that's a physical manifestation over time due to an unresolved emotional entrapment, an emotional body that's been trapped, unresolved trauma. And so it points at it to show us that it needs to be done. So if you'll notice, when parts of your body are flaring up and causing discomfort, look it up. Look up saying, what organ, what emotion is related to my foot? I don't know. Normally I pick an organ. And then you'll see right away a lot of different results. This is a very ancient study of medicine from the Eastern culture. You have a lot of acupuncturists, you have reflexologists. Reflexology is a really useful tool. You'll get to see that every area of your body, of your foot, is connected to different areas of your body. So certain spots of your foot is also telling you liver, is also telling you, third eye, pineal gland, stuff like that. Look it up. And then when we understand what's going on, the underlying emotional sensation in the body that's keeping that experience trapped, then we can start to release it. And that's why it's really useful to know about it. Then you were talking about the neck and shoulders. These typically what's been the biggest report has been hips, knees, and elbows and shoulders. Those are the main ones. I'm having the neck one. That's my main struggle I'm noticing. Be intentional in each moment. Deep breaths. Thank you, Kenny. Yes. Each moment that we're in, we're here for a reason. Like this is each one of us are somebody who got picked. There were a lot of volunteers. There were a lot of people who agreed and were ready to come. And we got picked. We got picked because we know we've done this before. We've ascended planets before. You know, it's weird to look at trying to explain this in a linear way when time is not linear, time doesn't exist, and I'm talking about myself, but we all do. We come from the future. Like, it sounds really crazy. It does. It sounds bizarre to say, though. We're coming back to an echo to close the echo. That's what we're doing. And so it can come back into its wholeness again. What this energy that we've left behind was an echo. It wasn't even really real. Like, that's why I kept getting all of those. I watched a movie a long time ago called Vanilla Skies. And I remember that movie made my stomach sick. I didn't like the energy of the movie and I didn't finish it. And I haven't watched it since. However, I keep getting the different things about this movie. And I watched this back when it was in theaters, whenever it was released. It was a long time ago. And it's coming back, reminding us of where we are as we're coming out of our dormancy and into our wakefulness. We're finding more and more of what we had been doing. We were doing on autopilot, and we didn't even know we were the cause, that we were causing that experience for ourselves. So lack of appetite. Let's talk about that before we get to get going soon. Lack of appetite equals energy needed for integration. Yeah, I agree with you. When I no longer, it's like my body's too busy, just distracted, preoccupied by digestion and stuff like that, then it's not as easy to do the work that we're meant to do or that we're about to do. And so I do find that we're more on like a liquid diet, if anything. Like I've been just drinking my coffee and my tea and my water. I haven't even been drinking orange juice because I forgot to get some. And so I have just no interest in food right now. And I agree with you. You feel like you need to rest more and you're don't have an appetite. It's not that we're ill. Using those words before created some type of frequency of illness. I remember discovering that as a one of my very early 20s, because you had to declare to your boss in order to not have to come in that day that you had to make an I am statement regarding illness and saying that I am, and it doesn't, it immediately made me that way. All of a sudden I was. Like, maybe I might have felt this kind of off a little bit, but as soon as I said it, crash, it just became really pronounced illness. And so I'm finding that I believe a lot of times that we've done that, it's this. It was to do with more ascension related kind of stuff. Yeah, I would say that our ascension symptoms have gotten more frequent and even bigger over recent years, the past 4 years in particular. You could really say the past 7 years. However, we've been doing this for some time. We've been doing these types of things for some time. We just didn't know what we were doing before. Maybe we'd take NyQuil and crash out for a while and you wake up better. And you're like, oh, cool, it worked. and not even knowing what really had occurred. So just keeping this in mind, allowing yourself to just pull back from preconceived notions of the experience and allow yourself to just view it like a child, without any other ideas. What is it that I'm observing at that moment? What is it that we're experiencing? It typically has nothing to do with something that requires cold medication or anything like that. So, hi, Wendy. I'm glad to see you were able to join us. We're just getting ready to close up. Um, there's so much energy coming in right now, so much high frequency stuff. At the same time, it's a lot. We're gonna have more big weather as this energy comes in. It looks like that. So that sunspot 3663 mixing of magnetic fields has been growing for 5 days. And it is in a position where when it releases, it will be like a whole bunch of solar flares together, So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Um, I did get told by Spirit a couple of days ago when we were in session with a group of people to look forward also to the 8th, which is Friday, I believe. Nope. The 8th is Wednesday. So, yeah. So Wednesday coming up here, that makes a lot of sense because today's Sunday. It could be. We'll see. I know that the 8th is also going to be a big energy day. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening. That's a new moon. That's also the Lyriad meteor shower. That's only like 1 or 2 meteors per hour. But though tonight, the I've read these things for years. It's been really strange lately to start to try to say the words out loud when you've never heard anyone say them before. I read astrology stuff and I get a lot of stuff that look like words first from Spirit. Names have colors and colors have feeling. I've always communicated with Spirit like this, and they'll use different type of fonts to mean something. So now I'm trying to read or say it out loud. Aquariid meteor shower. I might not have said that correctly. That is Halley's comet's tail that's moving over our atmosphere. So you'll get around 60 meteor or 60 shooting stars per hour tonight. If you have clear enough skies, doesn't look like we're going to. It's really unfortunate because we were like up here with like 0 light pollution. So that would have been really cool. Anyway, I love you all so much. A lot has been coming through. Follow your guide. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. Kenny says been eating a lot of beets and pickled foods too. This has been something that people have been doing a lot. Root. Anything that are roots, that root food, so beets is a root food. Potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, you're also going to talk about here, ginger and garlic is always useful, though it seems to be more useful right now and there's more of a drive for it. I'm back into my, wanting Brussels sprouts, but just not having the desire to prepare them. So then I just don't eat. Because I really don't have an appetite. The only thing that sounds good is Brussels sprouts, but I just don't feel like doing it because I'm going to be the only one that's going to eat them. And I'm that person that just like, it's weird to cook for yourself. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for being here on this amazing journey. It's going to keep getting better. It's going to keep getting brighter. More understanding coming in. Just remember that knowledge is just entertainment. When it comes down to it, it really doesn't change your experience, knowing something or not knowing something. What do you know? What's the knowing inside you? What does it feel like? As things come through, meditation, rest, allowing yourself to sleep as much as possible, and being in a space of calm and of gratitude, of appreciation, grounding. Exactly. I love you all. And I will talk to you very soon. On Wednesday, we have Jeanette coming on. And then the following week on the 15th is Luna and Christina. This one's going to be, I think, I'll have to confirm to be sure that they're still on board, but it's going to be really fun. Luna is, I believe, an 8-year-old starseed crystalline baby. And so my daughter and I are going to join and on this end, and then we'll have Luna and Christina on coming in from, I think they're in France, and it's going to be a fun conversation. So that'll be on the 15th. Though the conversation with Jeanette is going to be amazing. This coming the 8th, this particular day is a very impactful energy day too. So I'm looking forward to what kind of conversation comes through for that. So anyone who can on Wednesday, give yourself a little extra time. Go to bed early. Maybe, take off work early or something like that. Just give yourself a little bit of TLC downtime. If the downtime for you is wandering through the forest or even wandering through the browser, allowing yourself to just be you, be in your own space as much as you can. Not everyone can. I love you all. You got this. You're not alone. And I'll talk to you soon.